What is going on, YouTube? It's your boy, One Star Week Foot, and we're back for another player review. And first off, I gotta apologize, guys. I did not get a chance to film, record, do anything regarding an intro. My future videos obviously will have the intro. Today, I just was tired. I didn't really have time to do an intro, so there will be no intro for this video. Apologies for that. But yeah, we are here to review this team of the season, Vieirinha. And this is a card that a lot of people, if you go on Footbin, if you go to the Ultimate Team of the Season SBC Solutions, you're going to see this guy is one of the cards that people are using on the SBC. And I think it's crazy, all right? When you look at this card's stats, he's Hullet Gang with a bunch of stats in the 90s. And at this stage of FIFA, people are using him as a SBC fodder. That is absolutely nuts. How can you not at least give this guy a go in game? That's what I'm here to do today in this video, is to let you know, is this card SBC fodder? Is he a super sub? Is he a starter? What position is his best position? I'm going to let you know that. But let's look at this card. He's 5'8". He's high medium. He's right-footed. He got the 4-star combination, which is very rare for a left back on this game. I played 9 games in Division 1. I got no goals and 2 assists. And I think that goal tally, the goal contribution tally is a bit misleading because the gameplay today again was really bad. I ended up with 3 rage quits, 2 rage quits that were early in the game, and 1 rage quit from my end because the game was just unplayable, and I'm not going to put myself through that stress just for rivals points. So yeah, I played a bunch of games pretty much. I got a few assists, and I can give you guys a good idea about how this card plays in game. Before we go any further though, if you're enjoying the content, if you normally enjoy my content, and you're new around here, it's your first time around here, don't forget to hit the subscribe button down below. And if you're enjoying the content and you're not new around here, do me a favor, hit the like button down below. I appreciate all you guys for watching right now. Now let's look at his stats. So he has 90 pace, and that's pretty much the prerequisite for being a meta left back, meta fullback on this game. You need to have at least 90 pace. He has that. Now let's look at the shooting. Oh my God. 89 shooting on the fullback. I'm not sure, but I think this might be the best shooting fullback on this game, period. And it's crazy that people are using him as an SBC fodder. Ridiculous. His passing stats are very nice. 94 crossing, 92 short passing are the standout stats here. His dribbling stats are also very nice for a fullback. I mean, how often is it that you see a fullback with 94 agility, 95 balance? He has decent composure at 80, but he has 91 dribbling, decent reaction. So his dribbling should feel very, very nice in game. His defending stats are very nice as well. 90 interceptions, 90 marking are standout stats there. His physical stats are good and bad. All right, he has 86 jumping, but he's only 5'8". So that might be a concern. That might be why people aren't using this card. He has 93 stamina. That's good. No problems there. His strength, 67 strength at 5'8". That worries me. That makes me feel like he might play like a not informed Jordi Alba when it comes to going into the challenges, which is just not good enough at this stage of FIFA. His aggression, though, is very high, so hopefully that helps compensate for his lower strength. We're going to see how he plays in game. Let's jump into gameplay. Alright guys, so according to Footbin, this card is now selling for 47,000, which I find crazy because a couple days ago, this guy was barely 30,000 coins. People were not even using this card. Now, because of SBCs, his price has inflated to 47,000. Is he a good value for that money? I would still say yes, all right? Even if you're just using this guy as a super sub, 47,000 coins at this stage of FIFA is almost nothing, and I think this guy's a really good value. Let me break down the stats so you know exactly what to expect. So, let's talk about his pace first, all right? He definitely has very good acceleration on and off the ball. He definitely has good acceleration when it comes to exiting out of certain skill moves like the L1 fake shot, like the heel to heel. The one thing that I notice about his pace though that I just don't really like though is that when it comes to tracking back with your defender, I notice that he actually gets beat for pace more than I would like. And it's kind of concerning because this guy's already short. He's already kind of, small, not very strong. And I think that it might be because he has 87 sprint speed only, so he is quick to accelerate. He is quick to catch up at first, but then it feels like there's a cap on his speed, and a lot of these team of the season attackers do tend to outrun him over long distances, which is very concerning. So my advice to you guys is, if you do plan to play him in the left back position like he's meant to be played, then you need to put a shadow, you need to put an anchor, you need to put some kind of pace chemistry style on this card, because like I said, his pace is very good, but not great enough to really keep up with the best attackers on this game. So I got to give his pace an 8.5 out of 10. Now we're going to talk about shooting. And unfortunately, I don't think I did enough to test his shooting out. I mean, I forgot to tell you guys. So the position I played this guy in was left back, right? So I would play this guy at left back for the first half. The second half of games, I would switch him to the CM, the left CM position, so I could give this guy a go in multiple positions, multiple roles. And I was doing that partly so I could test his shooting more. I did test his shooting a few times, but I didn't really thoroughly test it in the box. I did test his long shots. Yo, his long shots are very powerful. They're very accurate. And even on half chances, he was really testing the keeper. So as far as long shots, he got it covered. Another thing I noticed about his shooting stat is his attack positioning is very nice. So when it came to overlapping from the left flank, this guy was always making dangerous runs. He was darting in behind the defense. I really enjoy that. As far as from the CM position, he was still making intelligent runs. They were very different because I guess I have different tactics for my CM in comparison to my left back, but he was still making very intelligent runs, and I do rate his attack positioning. Overall, I do got to give his shooting an 8.5 out of 10. Next, we're going to talk about his passing. And I would say his passing was actually very good. I don't have any complaints whatsoever with his passing. And as far as a fullback, an attacking fullback, if you like to attack with your fullback, if you like to play make with your fullback, this guy's going to be a real treat for you, all right? The first thing we're going to talk about when it comes to his passing is his crossing. And his crossing is very, very overpowered, all right? Whether it's a low cross, which is how I scored one of my goals or assisted one of my goals with this card, or just a regular plain old lofted cross, this guy finds not the back of the net. This guy finds the target of his cross 10 times out of 10. It's like a homing missile, and it really impressed me. Even though I don't cross that much, when I did cross, this guy put a dangerous cross in, and it was always a scoring opportunity. I even crossed to Sterling at one point. Sterling. And he was able to find this guy's head in the middle of all these tall center backs. And that just tells you how good this guy's crossing is. As far as his short passing, when I was playing him in the midfield, I did notice he was very capable when it came to short passing. He was very capable of doing that tiki-taka one-touch passing. He was very capable of doing those nice through balls in behind the defense. He was very capable of doing accurate driven passes, which is something that not everybody in this game can do. And I would say I really rate this guy's passing. He's an 8.5 out of 10 in my book as far as passing. And yeah. Now we're going to talk about his dribbling. And when you look at the stats, right, you're going to think this guy's going to dribble exactly like a winger on the ball. And in game, I would say yes. You're going to think right. This guy on the ball feels exactly like you would expect an agile winger to feel. The number one thing we're going to talk about here is his agility and balance. He's so quick to turn, especially for a fullback. It's very nice to be able to attack with your fullbacks down the flank. It helps open up opportunities, and this guy is really one of the best attacking fullbacks on this game at the moment. And it comes down to the fact that he's very quick to turn. He's very responsive on the ball. And on top of that, he has the 4-star skill moves. His dribbling's so good that I would actually play him as a wide cam. I would actually play him as a winger. Let's say you have him on your bench. You want to sub him into the game. Go ahead and do that. This guy's dribbling is very nice. As far as his composure, does it let him down? I would say no. I did not really notice any moments in particular where his composure let him down. I do think it may let him down if you play him in a very attacking role where you're needing him to really finish in tight areas. That's where I say it might let him down. But if you're playing this guy as a midfield sub, if you're playing this guy as a fullback sub, I don't think it matters at all. Overall, I got to give his dribbling a 9 out of 10. He feels very smooth on the ball. And in the midfield, this guy feels like a poor man's Bernardo Silva, a poor man's team of the season, Awar. This guy's very, very tidy, very clean on the ball. Now let's talk about this guy's defense. And because this guy's a fullback, you're going to worry about his defense, especially considering his physical stats. How did it play out in game? And I would say there's things that he's good at, and there's things that he's not so good at. So first, let's talk about the good. The biggest thing I would say he excels at is his defensive positioning and breaking a play. All right, his breakup play is very nice. It's probably because he has 90 interceptions, but I always found him in position to put in some very important interceptions. And when players like this have such a high interception stat, if you do manually defend, the ball kind of tends to magnetize to them if you're near the ball. So if you're cutting passing lanes with this guy, if you like to cut passing lanes with your fullback, or if you're gonna play this guy as a CDM that likes to cut passing lanes, this guy's really good at that. Now let's talk about the bad. I would say his standing tackle at 86 is a good stat, right? But the fact that he lacks the physical, the fact that he has a small body in game, the fact that he lacks just the pure size to put in those 50-50 challenges really, really hinders his tackling ability. All right. When it comes to face-up tackles, like let's say you're running into the opponent straight face-to-face, this guy's tackle is tidy enough, it's clean enough, and he can get in those tackles. But when it comes to the side-to-side challenges where you're going into people at an angle, side-to-side, those 50-50 balls, this guy just doesn't have it. And it was very frustrating playing with this guy against the more meta team of the season attackers because they were just running all over him. So as far as his defense, as far as his pure tackling ability and everything like that, I actually found this guy to be a liability. And it really doesn't necessarily come down to his tackle itself because the tackle is clean. It comes more down to the fact that he's small, he lacks the strength, and that's going to really take marks off his defense in my book. I got to give his defense a 7.5 out of 10. Very good at breaking up play, not so good at going into challenges. Okay, so the last thing we're going to address in this review is his physical. How does it play out in game? Well, the number one thing is, we're going to talk about jumping, right? His jumping is very average. I would say he does tend to get in the air very high for somebody of this height, for somebody of this stature. But when you're going to be playing against the team of the season Mbappe, if you're going to be coming up against any of the team of the season attackers that have like 99 jumping, this guy's just not going to cut it. He's not good enough to be playing in the fullback position at that height with that jumping. When you compare him to somebody like team of the season Tagliafico, who has maxed out jumping, there's just no contest because Tagliafico, in my experience, does tend to challenge the ball enough when it comes to jumping at those headers, and Vieirinha just doesn't have that in his locker. As far as his stamina, it's good enough. It's not elite because pretty much everybody has 99 stamina nowadays. He has 93 stamina. It's a step below elite, but it's good enough to pretty much play almost any position on the pitch. Now we're going to talk about strength, and like I said, or I alluded to earlier in this review, his strength is his biggest letdown. His strength is what keeps him from being a good fullback, in my opinion, in this game. In this game, with how it's set up, you're going to need somebody with at least close to 80 strength at the fullback position. And if they're going to have lower strength, you're going to need them to have height. You can't be short, weak, and not good in the air all at the same time and expect to be a really good fullback on this game. And because of that, I got to give his physical a 7.5 out of 10. It's just not good enough to cut it at the higher levels at the fullback position. So overall, what would I rate this card? Well, let me backtrack a little bit, right? First, I'm going to talk about what's his best position, right? At the left back position, I feel like he was very good attacking-wise. He's actually one of the best attacking fullbacks I've used on this game. But defensively, just because of his lack of physicality, just because of his lack of presence, he's just not good enough defensively for me to use. So as a fullback, I would have to rate him at a 7 out of 10. I just don't really like him at the fullback position. The other position I really played him in a lot was the CM position, and in my opinion, that's where he comes alive. At the CM position, he plays like a poor man's team of the season, Bernardo Silva. He plays like a poor man, UCL Moments, Florenzi. This guy plays like a poor man team of the season, Awar. This guy's very, very good as an attacking CM. If you like to drive the ball up the field with a smaller, agile player that can still, hold his own defensively, that can finish, that can pass, that has the 4-star skill moves, this guy's a really nice CM, actually. So if you're playing a 4-1-2-2 or any other formation with CMs and you need a super sub in the CM position, I would highly recommend this guy. For that money, you're not going to find a better super sub CM on this game. And at the CM position, I do got to give him an 8.5 to 8.75 out of 10. He's a very, very good player in that position. So yeah, that's going to be my team of the season Vieirinha review. Hopefully you guys found it helpful. Hopefully you guys found it enjoyable. Once again, don't forget to like and subscribe. I'll be back later or tomorrow with another video. But until then,